During the last 10 years of my life, if there are a handful of games that I would pick right now and play them over and over again, one of those games would be the Mass Effect series, especially Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, the Commander Shepard storyline. These games have been the love of my life during my high school days. I absolutely fell in love with the universe that was built. I fell in love with the characters. I fell in love with the dialogue options that the game has provided. I fell in love with the storyline. Everything and anything that has to do with Mass Effect, I loved it. I adored it, and to this day, I play those games over and over again. I really love them. And recently it has been announced that the 3 games would be getting a remaster, aka Mass Effect The Legendary Edition. And I'm sure by now all of you have seen the trailers of it. I have too, and I have some thoughts about it, so let's talk about it. So what is this Legendary Edition? Well, basically it is just everything that has to do with Commander Shepard and all the DLCs, for the most part, and all the 3 games into one big package for €60 or dollars, and you would get to experience the same story, the same characters and everything, but updated textures and updated visuals for the most part. I don't think they're making any ground-changing combat changes. I have seen that they are changing the mecho, the driving within the game, but for the most part, it's going to be the same. So, do we really need this or not? Well, it depends on what we're really looking at. So the short answer is yes, I would like to play the Legendary Edition. Sounds great. The long answer is a little bit complicated. I'll tell you what I mean. So, as we all know, and it's quite obvious, remaster is just something that they update the visuals and maybe a few quality of life changes, but for the most part it's the same game, which is not a bad idea. I don't really say that you shouldn't do it. I'm not against it. Personally, I don't enjoy remasters, but if there is a game and a better visuals would just do justice for that game, I 100% support it. Go for it, do it. But as far as I understand, the 3 Mass Effect games didn't have that many bad issues with them. Sure, the controls were a little stiff. Sure, the visuals looked a little outdated, but I still don't mind playing those games. But that's just me. It's my preference. I still don't mind playing those games, and if you think that a better visuals would do justice for your experience and maybe a little bit of change in the combat system, a little few changes in quality of life would vastly improve your experience, go for it. 100% go for it. Go purchase it yourself. I'm not saying no to that. Also, what I'm not saying no to is those people who have never played Mass Effect games but had curiosity in general, just want to check out the game, but they just don't feel like playing the old games because they look outdated and the controls are a little stiff. For those people, I say yes, 100% yes. Get it, buy it, play it. Tell me what you think. I'd love to know. And I hope you enjoy those games. But if you're somebody like me, who has played these games before multiple times, and you already know the story and already enjoy all of this, I don't really know if it's a good purchase option for you or for me. Yes, I have said that I would like to play the game, the Legendary Edition. Yes, but I just don't know if it is worth it. All of this has to do with the fact that the BioWare that we know and love, who made the original trilogy of games, are not there anymore. The people who worked on those games are not coming back to remaster these games. It is just the BioWare of 2021 making it. Now, yes, for the visuals you don't need the original team to do it. Anybody can do it. I understand that part, but to me it just feels like BioWare is just buying time for their next game. Potentially the next Mass Effect game. Which, yes, I am excited for it. That's another video for another topic for another time. But right now it just feels like it's a quick cash grab. It just feels like they are praying and hoping that the nostalgia that you have for these games is enough for you to go out there and buy the games. I am against that part. I do not like the fact that companies can go around, tinker and play with your nostalgia and make money out of it. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't like it when they do it in the movies. I don't like it if they're doing the same thing in video games. Now you might be saying that, hey, wouldn't this money, the sales that come from Legendary Edition would go into the next game, the next Mass Effect game, or the next game, whatever that is? Yeah, it would go for it. I hope, because that's all we have, a hope. Because talking about the next Mass Effect game or the next game that they're gonna make, it's far out there. We don't know what's going on with it. We don't know if they're gonna release it. At this moment and at this time, it just really feels like a cash grab more than anything. Yes, it does improve the game quality and quality of life changes, but personally it just feels like a cash grab. It doesn't feel like, the BioWare just wanted to provide a great experience for you. It just feels like a cash grab. Now, see, I know that companies need to make money. I understand that part. I understand that coming up with new games, with new ideas is a challenging thing, but that's your job, BioWare. That's what you're supposed to do. What I would have enjoyed, genuinely, was a different Mass Effect story. Perhaps a smaller Mass Effect story that would just expand upon the already established universe. Just like Mass Effect Andromeda. Now I know a lot of people do not like Mass Effect Andromeda. It has mediocre reviews. Not a lot of people enjoyed it. I understand. They experimented with it. They failed at it. Now they're making the Legendary Edition. But what I would really enjoy is a game that is not that great, but at least they tried to make it, versus a game that is just essentially the same or a remaster of already existing games. That's what I believe in. As long as you try something new, something different, that would have been fine, that would have been great, but this just feels like, oh, we don't know what to do, we just need to buy some time, we just need more money, let's just make a Legendary Edition and see what happens with it. Now, by no means I'm not saying that these companies shouldn't do this. It's common practice in the gaming industry, and just because a random dude on the internet like me making a video about it wouldn't stop this corporation to make the Legendary Edition. Nothing's gonna stop it. It's gonna happen. People are gonna buy it. People are gonna be happy or disappointed by it. But I'm just saying, I would much more rather appreciate a new game, a different game, an original idea, rather than a remaster. Now, yes, they have made a different game, Anthem, the disastrous BioWare dream project that they have been working for a long time and failed miserably. I do understand and see the point in it. Maybe this is a good cash grab for them, Maybe the sales that come from this would eventually lead to the next Mass Effect game, and that game would be far better than Andromeda or Anthem. But again, all we have is a hope for that. Look, I'm just a dude on the internet. Just because I say all of these things, I don't mean that you shouldn't enjoy the Legendary Edition. If anything, I encourage you go out there and get yourself a copy and play it and enjoy it. If you're somebody who has a $60 and if you just want to enjoy a good role-playing game, a science fiction game, highly recommend going and getting yourself a copy of Legendary Edition. Please do it, and I hope you share your experience of Mass Effect with me. And if you're somebody who has never played Mass Effect and is looking into buying it and playing it, yes, do it, buy it, get it, play it, please. But what I am saying is that just don't get too hyped up for the game. It is just a story that we already know and love and fell in love with a decade ago, and it is just a visual update to the game. And personally, it's not that big of a deal for me. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't play it. Maybe, perhaps in the future I will. we shall wait and see. If you want to see if I'm gonna play the game or not, you should probably stop by my Twitch channel where I might play Legendary Edition at some point. Who knows? That's a mystery. So to answer the question, do we really need Mass Effect Legendary Edition? Yeah, the longer answer is also yes, we do need it, but with a heavy heart. Knowing for the fact that the previous 2 games by BioWare have been a disaster, knowing that they were once capable of making great games, now they just have to stick to remasters just to make a profit, is quite sad. And all I wish and hope for is that the next game that they make is a success. I hope that the next Mass Effect game would really drive the story forward and really make another impact, just like Commander Shepard's story. And another thing, please do not buy or do a pre-order of Legendary Edition. Don't do it. It is a shitty practice by all these companies who make pre-orders. I do not like it. I hate it. I've made that mistake before with Cyberpunk 2077. It was not that great of a game for me personally. I did enjoy it, but pre-ordered it. I was way too excited and it was a bit of a disappointment for me. So do not pre-order any game. Pre-orders are not worth it. Pre-orders are shitty business practices, okay? Don't do it. And so with all of that said, let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about the Legendary Edition? Are you going to buy it? Are you going to play it? Are you going to support BioWare in these times that they're going through right now? Are you going to suggest this game to somebody else? Let me know everything. Or you can come by my Discord server where we can talk more about Mass Effect and other games and a lot more things than just Mass Effect and gaming. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.